Israel, what's going on? Hope everybody is enjoying this first day of the week. I hope you learned something on your Sabbath day, and I hope y'all bringing that out that you learned. There was a thing that happened over the course of the weekend, which was the day that they gave us, black people, a federal holiday where they said that we are made free. And there was something on the news. Well, it was going through all type of social media or whatever the case may be, but this was mainly on the news. And this actually came from your government. And your government told you to commemorate. The word, or the definition of the word commemorate, means to celebrate, to keep in remembrance of. And they told you to keep in remembrance of 156 years that we let you go free. But if I look today, after 156 years of paying my rent, paying my electric bill, and paying all of this, how can you tell me to celebrate this thing and that's not freedom? Since slavery, yes, we have acquired a few things. We learned how to go to school. We learned how to pronunciate. We learned how to do certain things, but these things never brought us closer to God. And because these things never brought us closer to God, because it's a man that's telling us to celebrate, be happy, be happy. I'd rather my government would have said, yo, you Negroes should be happy that after 156 years, we let y'all live this long. Even though y'all say that we are free, you know, these people chase us down, whether it's cops, whether it's, you know, just the foulest of the vilest type. So we never really come to the grips or to the terms, how can I celebrate when I know somebody died yesterday? How can I celebrate when I know that you guys are snatching people up left and right? There's so much danger in this world. How can I celebrate? What am I being happy about? So your government told you to be happy, commemorate, remember these things that we did for y'all, right? But I want to ask you a question, Israel, and this is in the book of Lamentations. Go to chapter 3. This is the book of Lamentations, chapter 3, verse 37. Who is he that saith, and it cometh to pass, when the Lord commanded it not? Here it is now. Your government told you to be happy and be joyful and be glad that, you know, after 156 years, you free from slavery. But God didn't say that. If you really go back into history, just in the Bible, and then you look back into 1865 of that freedom of slavery, when God took you up out of Egypt, he took you out of Egypt by a strong hand. Not only did he take you up out of Egypt by a strong hand, he also brought you into a new land, not a dry land. He brought you into a new land. So if you look at, to say the least, you know, have we ever been freed from slavery? Yes, we have been freed from slavery. When God took us up out of Egypt, he made us free from that. And when he made us free, you look at the 1865 where they said, we're going to make you free from slavery. And then you look and examine that. Was we really free? No, it wasn't like how God did it with Moses. When we walked through the Red Sea, we had all types of cattle, where we had all types of merchandise and things of that nature, so that way we ain't need for nothing. Only thing we had to do was go in the wilderness and worship the Lord. We didn't have that. We didn't have that. So because of this, if you have eyes to see and you have ears to hear, and you read in the Bible, and then you look at your 1865 where they said that we released you, and they telling you now after 156 years later, be happy for this. Do you really want to be happy? Can you really smile at this and say, yo, this freedom that these people gave us is just like the same way when God gave them freedom in Egypt? Nah. This is not that type. This is not the same. And once you see that it's not the same and you balancing out the two, what would you rather go back to? Would you rather come back to the father of us all? Or would you rather continue to listen to what this man said? Because God did not send this man to say, thus saith the Lord. When a thus saith the Lord comes through, or it's going to come to pass, this is actually going to happen. The thing is going to follow behind. But these people say, yo, we're going to let you go away from slavery and, you know, give you freedom. It has not come to pass yet. So I can clearly tell that this man that just told me to commemorate, to be happy about something that did not come to pass yet, you are not God. You're not the Lord. You're not doing these particular things for us. You're not brewing us. You're not growing us. You're not helping us grow. You're still continuing to diminish us. But we're not going to be doing this no more. We're going to start rising. We're starting to learn a little bit more. We're starting to talk up a little bit more, those that's quiet. We're going to start speaking about these things. But let's get into today's day. We're talking about the Father's Day. Everybody out here running around talking about Happy Father's Day. What you don't realize is that you're going to get punished for the thing that you are about. And we're going to get into this particular situation. Shalom, what's going on? We're going to go to the book of the law because we're not going to play today. It's too hot and y'all want to sit here and continue to do the things that is not right. This is the book of the law, Deuteronomy chapter 27, verse 16. Cursed be he that setteth light by his father or his mother, and all the people shall say, Amen. This is not a good thing. When you start to shed light towards your pops and you tell your father, yo, I love you, dad, everything is all about you. You got to remember, we have a father over us all. God is a jealous God. And he said, yo, I'm going to be your father. Yes, my parents in the flesh, my father and mother in the flesh brought me through so I can be able to become about. In the beginning of the stages, God made man out of earth. So when he made man out of earth, my parents can't do that. Only way they can be able to bring me forth is if God says, yo, I'm going to plant this seed in your parents and I want this kid to come forth. But according to the law, statutes, and commandments, every male child, every female, no matter what you bring into this world, if you're a mother and a father, if you bring something into this world, you are supposed to dedicate that to me. Your kid is mine. You are not to bring them into you and say, yes, I want you to worship me as a father. You are not supposed to do these particular matters. But yet, when we come into this particular world today, we have to honor our mother and our father and love them, and we forget about our Father which is in heaven. And when we forget about these particular things, he says, yo, I told you in the book of the law, cursed be he that sheddeth light on father and mother. So because of this, the fathers is supposed to let us know, yo, listen, don't honor me and worship me. Honor the Father which is in heaven. And as long as you honor the Father which is in heaven, he's going to be the protector of you. He's going to guide you through life. If I die today or tomorrow, son, I can't protect you. That man will. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to get into that to try to figure out is it true that we are not supposed to worship Father's Day, because our father Jacob gave us a law actually and let us know, yo, these are the things that's going to happen to you in your last days. So before he died, he was actually a good father and gave us an inheritance, something to remember by. You dig what I'm saying? So he let us know we're not supposed to really, not in other words as he didn't say, but mostly he's going to express it to us to let us know the same way I got certain things from my father. I can't give you these particular things. I can't tell you what God got in store for you. God going to have whatever he wants to have in store for you. I can tell you, I can protect you as long as I'm living, but if you continue to follow the Father which is in heaven, he got you. So go to Genesis chapter 49. Genesis chapter 49, verse 25 and verse 26. Even by the God of thy father, who shall help thee, and by the Almighty, who shall bless thee with blessings of heaven above, blessings of the deep that lieth under, blessings of the breast and of the womb. 26. The blessings of thy father have prevailed above the blessings of my progenitors, unto the utmost bound of the everlasting hills. They shall be on the head of Joseph, and on the crown of the head of him that was separate from his brethren. So what Jacob is letting you know, at the end of the day, all of the things that I have received. Matter of fact, I'm going to go back to that again so that way you can't say, well, Anthony, this is what you're saying. The blessings of thy father have prevailed. Other words, the blessings that I received just now has prevailed. It went a way above and beyond. I can't even tell you. If I tell you that, yo, you know, God said he's going to give me one park. Come to find out, I only thought that I was only getting one park. By the time my age kind of manifested, come to find out I got 2 and 3 parks. That wasn't told to me. So I prevailed way more. So this is what he's letting you know. I prevailed way more. The blessings of thy father have prevailed above the blessings of my progenitors unto the utmost bounds of the everlasting hills. They shall be on the head of Joseph, and on the crown of the head of him that was separate from his brethren. Now the word progenitors means fathers or forefathers. Okay, now Jacob has a forefather, and this forefather told him a thing that was going to happen, and this forefather let him know, yo, you're going to get the land of Canaan. Now we're going to prove that, so that way we could be able to understand why he's telling his sons that this is the thing that's going to happen to you in your last days. When I came up and I was told that I was going to get certain things in life, I actually prevailed way more than what my fathers actually got, or what my fathers actually told me I was going to receive. You dig what I'm saying? So we're going to try to understand what this progenitor or this forefathers or the fathers of what we're supposed to get from before. So we're going to go to Abraham. You're going to go to Genesis chapter 17. Genesis chapter 17, verse 1 and 2. And when Abram was 90 years old and 9, the Lord appeared to Abram and said unto him, I am the Almighty God. Walk before me and be thou perfect. Verse 2. And I will make my covenant between me and thee, and I will multiply thee exceedingly. Verse 8. And I will give unto thee and to thy seed after thee the land wherein thou art a stranger, all the land of Canaan, for an everlasting possession, and I will be their God. So understanding this, God is telling Abraham, I'm going to give you all of the land of Canaan, wherever you step your foot at. And I'm going to give it not only to you, I'm going to give it to your seed after you for an everlasting covenant. This is my covenant that I'm making with you and your seed after you. So now as Jacob done came about, there's a thing that happened. Yes, Jacob got the land of Canaan, but there was another thing that happened. Now we're going to understand this other thing that happened. Go to Genesis chapter 15. Genesis chapter 15, verse 12 through 15. And when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abram, and lo, and horror of great darkness fell upon him. Verse 13, how you doing? And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. Verse 14, and also that nation whom they shall serve, I will judge, and afterward shall they come out with great substance. Verse 15, and thou shalt go to thy fathers in peace. Thou shalt be buried in a good old age. Now this is a thing, a reason why I tell you this. He's letting Abraham know, listen, the seed that I'm going to give you, yes, I'm giving you the land, and not only am I giving you the land, I'm going to give you the land and your seed after you. But not only am I going to give you the land and the seed after you, your kid is going to go into captivity in another strange land. And he's going to become a stranger there. He's going to be a slave there. This is how I know. As I'm going through whatever I'm going through today, not just me and myself, but everybody else, this is how I know I am a children of Israel. I am not a revolutionary. A revolutionary and a child of Israel is two different things. So as he just told you, yo, listen, your kid is going to go into a land, and they're going to serve them. They're going to be slaves. So in other words, when you have to go and serve somebody, it doesn't say in a part of slavery, you're bondaged. There's nothing that you can do about it. So because of this is how I know that I am a child of God or children of Israel, because these are the things that I'm still going through to this day. I know that that curse is still on me still to this day. But a person that's a revolutionary, they don't look at these particular things. They don't really look at the fact of what a revolutionary consists of. You dig what I'm saying? A revolutionary is a motion around the center, or a radical change as of government. You dig what I'm saying? We want to overthrow. We want better meals. We want better money. We want better of this. We want better of that. But God didn't say that you was going to go into the land of Egypt and be a revolutionary. He said you was going to go into the land of Egypt and you was going to be a slave. So what we don't realize is that you can be a revolutionary all as much as you want. You could protest about what the things it is that you want. You could try to overthrow a government as much as you want. But what you don't realize is that you have another crafty man that's on the side. And this crafty man sits there and tries to ear hustle. What do people want? Oh, this is what you want? Okay, so because you have a want, if you vote for me as president, or if you vote for me as judge, or you vote for me as an attorney or councilman of this country or this city, whatever you do, I promise you, I will make this come to pass for you and I will help you out. But this, what we don't realize as revolutionaries, or what revolutionaries don't realize, is that it's a thing that goes on. You're going to go into the book of Apocrypha real quick, and we're going to understand what happens when a revolutionary thinks that they got something going on, because it doesn't add up to nothing. Go to Sirach chapter 10. Sirach chapter 10 verse 8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches gotten by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. So what happens is, yeah, they're going to make believe that we're going to give you exactly what it is that you want, but we really not. You dig what I'm saying? We just want to get into office, and as long as you vote for us, then I'm good. I don't really got to honor what you have to say once I get into office. Up until that point, though, yeah, I'm going to act like I really care, and I'm going to help you out, and we're going to do changes, and we're going to give black people more rights. Yes. They come to find out that is not so. So what we don't realize is that, yes, we can complain about these particular things to this government and become revolutionaries, or we could be the children of Israel. Now, when you read Isaiah chapter 30, verse 7, it tells you the reason why the Egyptians is going to help you in vain. Your government is going to help you in vain. They're not really going to be there for you. So because of this is the reason why he's sending all of his prophets and raising us up in these last days to let it be known the children of Israel is to sit still. Chill out. Don't do no more. If you feel as though you know you bondage and you tired of doing this, and if you believe in God, stop doing what you're doing. But yet, you don't believe that you are Israelites. You don't believe that you are children of God. Why won't you consider that? Right? So because of these particular things, we decide to become revolutionaries. But what happens? This government goes to somebody else's hands and he flushes it down the toilet once he's done. He doesn't care about us. So we need to get back to the Father of all things and remember and listen to his words. His words said that we was going to be slaves. And if he wants us to sit still, then sit still and let him do the work. Right? So here it is now. We come to find out that God came to Abraham and told him, yo, listen, your seed is going to go into captivity into a land that is not theirs, and they're going to be worshiping other gods. But it's going to be me that's going to judge them. He didn't tell Abraham, yo, check it. Tell your kids that when they go into Egypt, you know, they're going to be slaves for 400 years, and then it's going to be you that's going to come and get them. No, he did not say that. So because he didn't say that, he let it be known that at the end of the day, this is what's going to happen, but it's going to be me that's going to redeem them. You know? Even though these are your kids, yes, but it's going to be me that's going to redeem them. So eventually, he gave this trait and he passed this inheritance down to his son. His son gave it to his son. And this is why Jacob is letting it be known. Here it is. I wound up getting the land of Canaan, but not only did I get the land of Canaan, I was also told that a bondage was going to happen. Now, that bondage that I thought was going to happen for 400 years didn't quite so happen. My son Joseph, out of my 12 sons, got sent into Egypt by the hand of God. And Joseph wind up taking over this particular government. This wasn't told to Jacob. So when Jacob is dying now, he's looking at things of two. I got the land of Canaan, and not only do I have the land of Canaan, I also took another government that I never was aware of. So I prevailed way more because my father Abraham told me it was the land of Canaan. He didn't say nothing about Egypt. So that's how I know. Even it doesn't matter when God does what he wants to do. So if God decides to say, well, yo, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to give you the land of Canaan. But if I decide to push the children of Israel into four corners of the earth, as long as you're willing to do that same thing that Joseph did, which is he waited. He served about 12 years, but he had to learn. And once he learned something, God gave him power to be able to interpret dreams. And once he started telling the Pharaoh of the things that was going to come to pass, this is when he made him into that man. You're going to be able to run this government. But that wasn't because of Pharaoh's doing, that's because of God's doing. But again, God does what he wants. If God say, yeah, I'm going to give you this land, but I also feel like I want to take that too, this is what he's going to do. So when he took us up out of Egypt now, we're supposed to do the same particular thing with him behind us or in front of us. We're supposed to take over lands and rebuke these nations that's actually doing evil, such as worshiping Father's Day. So you can clearly understand why he don't want you to worship these particular things, because again, at the end of the day, your father can't save you in that time of distress. If your father is not here today or tomorrow, your mom's died today or tomorrow, who you think is going to be that one that's protecting you? It's going to be me, God. How you want to know though if somebody is coming in the form of God to try to tell you this? If you kind of continue to tie yourself into evil things. So this is the thing that we learning today, which is not to worship our father and our mother as far as honoring them. Yes, we can love them. We can be there for them. We can buy them a couple of things, but when that day comes of a holiday and you saying, yeah, I'm going to set this light and let you know how much you've been so important in my life after all of these years, and not giving that honor to the Father, which is in heaven, you're going to have a problem. You are definitely going to have a problem. I'm telling you that right now. So now that we got that, we're going to go to Matthew chapter 10, and we're going to see exactly what Christ had to deal with when he came down to let us know how that we can understand the law, statutes, and commandments, because this was hidden from us before. So this is the reason why people is doing it, and they continue not to want to teach, and they never come to learning, never come to knowledge of the truth. So because of this now, clearly it's written right here in the Bible, but they're going to continue to go opposite of it. So we're going to go to Matthew chapter 10. Matthew chapter 10, verse 34 through 39. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. So now picture this. If this is our Savior who came down and to die for us and shed his blood from us, right? He is letting you know, I did not come down here to set peace. So I don't understand why people is letting be know, oh, God said love each other, be here for each other. God ain't come down here to set peace. He said, I came down here to set war. "35. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law." 36. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household. 37. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. 38. And he that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me. 39. He that findeth his life shall lose it, and he that loseth his life for my sake shall find it. So now, when you understand the word variance, he said, I came to set man at variance with his father, the daughter against her mother. At the end of the day, a variance is a discord. When you have a variance of something, if you take for an example, to give you as an example, a father tells his kid or a mother tells his kid, yo, listen, make sure you throw out the garbage, make sure you wash the dishes, make sure you do these particular things. That's the night before. But let's say you wake up in the morning now as a parent and you come to find out that your kid didn't do what you asked them to do. You got the nerve to be mad. This is a vexation of spirit. This is the annoyance. But guess what? How can you be mad at your kid for not doing a thing that you told him to do, but God also told you to do a thing and you wouldn't do it? So guess what? Can you imagine your kid say, yo, but mommy, God made you and he told you to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, but you ain't keeping that. So why do I got to do the dishes? Why I got to throw out garbage? Why I got to babysit? You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, this is what God said, yo, I'm not coming to set peace but a sword. Because now the thing that y'all having and what y'all doing is y'all making babies and making them honor you and y'all forgetting about the Father. Right? So we can't forget about the Father, and we got to understand that at the end of the day, this discourse that we going through with our parents, if you are having that, there's a reason for that. Right? God is not just going to give you or tell you, yo, I'm setting a man and a woman at variance against their parents if this is not going to cause for something. How you doing?
I'm good.
So because of this now, if God sets a man and a woman at variance against their parents, how can you say, well, listen, this is a good thing? You feel me? That's not a good thing. God did not come down here to set peace and everybody love each other and hug and kiss and sing kumbaya, but yet we become enemies tomorrow. Right? Even our own parents. Your mother may do something that you may not like, and guess what? You curse her out. Me and my moms ain't friends. Me and my daddy don't get along. Why? Because that's that variance, that discourse. Because guess what? God sent your father to do a commandment and they didn't do it. So guess what? He told you to do a commandment, and you decided not to do the commandments of your own parents, and this is the recompense on your parents. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, we will never escape this particular type of sin. We stay in this particular situation. So God did not come down here to set peace. He came to set people at variance. So when you're going around saying, yo, happy Father's Day, happy Mother's Day, why are you doing that? He said you will be cursed for this if you set light against your father and your mother. I'm your father and your mother. It's me that's going to protect you. When they die today or tomorrow, who is it going to be that's going to protect you? It's going to be me. So because of these particular matters, we understand that this discourse is a bad thing. We're going to go to Psalms chapter 27. Psalms chapter 27 verse 10. When my father and my mother forsake me, then the Lord will take me up. So guess what? At the end of the day, here it is. The Father lets you know, yo, when your father and your mother forsake you and they don't give you the law, statutes, and commandments, you wind up taking on certain things and you're trying to be just like their life. You look at their life and, oh, my mom and my dad been married for 30, 45 years and I want to have that same type of life. Guess what? You go to have this particular type of life and we start doing the things of our parents. And we think that these particular things that we are doing because we look up to our parents. But yet our parents don't tell us the things that's going to befall us. They don't let us know, hey, listen, you know, our marriage of being 33 years, believe it or not, it was rocky. It was a lot that we had to sacrifice. It was a lot that we had to accept. You know, and a lot of people is not willing to accept certain things in relationships, get over certain problems, work out their problems. So because of this, we wind up having a discourse in our relationship and not knowing where it's coming from. But guess what? That's our parents who forsook us. But God says, yo, I could direct your friendship, your relationship aright as long as you have counsel of me. As long as you understand the commandments of me and my knowledge, you could be able to have peace. But When you allow somebody else to try to teach you something, and as far as our parents, and they don't give us those things that's going to befall us, but just the happy moments, then yeah, we're going to fall for anything in life. And that when that happens, God is the one that's going to come pick us up. But we don't notice this yet. This is not taught to us, you know? Ephesians. To the book of Ephesians. We're going to go to the book of Ephesians, chapter 6. Mother's Day and make sure you bring me flowers and things of that nature. Don't do that. Honor him, right? So because of these particular things, Paul is letting it be known. But yet, glory to the Father. So that way they'll know these certain things in life and what they're supposed to do. They'll know who's going to save them in this time of trouble right here. You know what I'm saying? Now, about exhorting the Father. How do we do that? When we do service to our parents, we got to understand that this thing comes from something. And our parents, you know, because they feel as though they know what's best for us. They've been here longer than us, and that's kind of understandable. But even though you brought us into this world, again, the commandment still stands. Every child that comes into this world belongs to me. So when our parents don't make us do the service of God and we start doing the service of our own parents and worshiping them, we kind of fall off. But Ecclesiastes, the preacher, chapter 12, verse 13 says, hear the conclusion of the whole matter so you can form a proper opinion according to facts and keep God's commandments. It's not hearing the conclusion of the whole matter, keep God's commandments, but let your parents tell you, but this is what you also need to do X, Y, Z, and the third in order to live life. No, that's not what it say. So because of these particular things, this is why we fall off. Because nobody doesn't keep the conclusion. Nobody is coming to the realization of hearing a thing and then going to the commandments and then let me see what God has to say about me worshiping parents, or what parent I should worship. Should I worship my parents in the flesh and solely listen to what they say and honor them? Or should I listen to my Father, which is in heaven, which is Father of us all, who also knows best? You know, so because of this particular thing, we're going to go into Sirach real quick. Go to Sirach chapter 6. So when I'm taking conclusion of the whole matter, just so I can make sure I'm keeping God's commandments, I got to make sure diligently I'm always seeking out the word every day, every night. You got to make sure you are keeping the commandments. So once you hear a thing and you hear somebody tell you, yo, listen, you know, you can do whatever you want. You don't have to keep the Sabbath day. You know, you can work. Okay, that's why God made you, so you can be a father. No, at the end of the day, He didn't make me to have my kid worship me. He didn't make me do that. He didn't make me into a slave. So because of these particular things, He made me into a certain type of man to preach His word. But I wasn't given that. I was given by my parents to preach to them, shine light to them, show and make them happy, approve them. You dig what I'm saying? Make sure I get good grades and good rewards and things of this nature. so they could take pictures and post it up and make selfies and things of that nature. God ain't worrying about making no selfie, right? Sirach chapter 6, verse 23. Give ear, my son. Receive my advice and refuse not my counsel. So this now, if he tells me to give ear, my son, receive my advice, and do these particular things, I got to actually take heed to what his commandments are. So there's a certain way where, yes, I can have my own kids and I could bring forth a nation and, make a nation for myself. Or I can look outside today and see all of these fatherless. I can see all of the widows. So there's a thing, how can I go out and become a father for myself and have my own kid when there's have all of these people that's out here who has kids who don't have a father for them, who, you know what I'm saying? And this works on both fronts. You have a woman who may have a kid or two or three, but the father's not in their life. They may have 2 or 3 baby fathers. You may have a man who's taking care of 3 kids by himself who does not have the wife. The wife left him. You know what I'm saying? So these particular matters, and guess what? That man needs help. That man can't do it all by himself. That woman can't do it all by himself. But God is going to do a thing. When your parents forsake you and told you, yo, go ahead and have a kid and, give me grandbabies and things of that nature, what they did not tell you is that if I die today or tomorrow, I ain't going to be able to help you. So it was better off to give me the things of God, so that way I could discern myself. Do I have a kid, or do I go ahead and look outside and I see people that do have kids, and let me see if they got a light in them. And if they don't have a light and they only got darkness, let me shine some light on them. Let me give them these particular things, right? So instead of me becoming a father of myself and bringing forth kids, God said protect the fatherless. So it's people out here that is fatherless and they don't know a thing of God. So they need to learn this. So that's a job. That's how I know I'm an Israelite, though. I'm not a revolutionary. You know what I'm saying? So, as he tells us to give ear, and when I give this ear, I'm going to go to Wisdom of Solomon. Go to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 4. Because obviously he wants to tell me a thing, and when he tells me this thing, I have to act on it. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 4, verse 6. For children begotten of unlawful beds are witnesses of wickedness against their parents in their trial. So once I see this particular thing that a female doesn't have a baby but she's walking by herself, she doesn't have a man with her, I'm not the judge to say, well, that's what she gets. But at the end of the day, that makes me sad, because I know for a fact there's not a lot of pure men out here. There's a lot of froward men. So when men see these particular women, they feel as though, they laying with sins. They want. All I have to do is give her a little turn up, hang out with her, drink, maybe act like I really care, and I can get whatever I want from this girl, right? And they take advantage of these particular women, and these particular women are considered silly because they never learn. They continue to go through this particular thing, have a baby with one man, then maybe have another baby with another man, and thinking that, okay, well, one of these men is going to get right, and it never comes to that. You know what I'm saying? But it's not solely their fault, because it's no man out here that's really taking it to heart of the law. If you see a woman that's walking by herself and she's struggling, or you see a man that's struggling and he's the only parent, honestly, you don't really realize that at the end of the day, these people thought about doing something right. They thought about bringing forth a kid without getting married first. So now, once you see this particular thing, the relationship split. So that child is forced to grow up with no type of guidance, nothing. So when I see this particular thing, it bothers me. And I says, you know what? I can't be a part of that. Discretion is my thing. I can't be a part of the thing that's actually going on, but I can help it. I can actually get out here with my Bible and show my devotion towards the Father, not to men, but to the Father, to let it be known, yo, sis, you're going to be all right. All right, you got a kid now and you sinned already, but you're going to be all right. If you believe in him and you start working towards him, you're going to be all right. You know what I'm saying? But there's not enough men to do that. I got to come out here, and only way I could be able to tell you something nice is if I'm getting something or I'm receiving something from you as the female. That's the only way. But it's not really going to be a benefit for you. It's all a pleasure for me. But this was the curse that was put on Eve. The pleasure is not going to be Eve's. It was going to always be the man's. So because of this particular thing, we see that we have this particular foolishness going on, and it's working on both fronts. And our who actually have the ability to want to do something and see what people need in life, but yet you could judge what they need, but you won't even go and help and do the right, which is to do the work of the Father. You know what I'm saying? So that's what makes it so bad when you have these particular people who look at things and see what is needed, but yet you're not looking to do the thing that's needed. What type of person are you? We're going to go to 2 Timothy chapter 3. Second Timothy chapter 3, verse 1 through 7. This know also, that in the last days perilous times shall come. Verse 2. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy. Verse 3. Without natural affection, truth breakers, false accusers, fierce, despisers of those that are good. Verse 4. Traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God. Verse 5. Having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. From such turn away. Here it is now. That's just verse 5. I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to read the last two. I just want to explain something. At the end of the day, this is what we're going to have. We have these particular men who may come out with the likeness in that image, but they don't got the full. They deny that power, the spirit. They deny that pureness, that cleanness. And because they denied that, they wind up coming around and they seeing women and saying, yo, you know what? Let's see that. And we see that they laden with sins. Oh, this girl only got a kid and she ain't got no baby father and she's still dressing like a harlot. Oh yeah, I'm going to take you down. You still showing skin, but you walking with a baby carriage. Oh yeah, I'm going to try to holler at you and take you down. You know what I'm saying? I see that you're in a want for something. And because you're in a want for something, I can be that person for you. And this is what these people do. And 9 times out of 10, when you see these particular things, you got to understand that, yo, me as a man, I got to separate myself from that particular man because I have to do something else. Remember, he told me to take advice. He's advising me and take his counsel as far as God telling me this. So when you see these particular manner of men, separate yourself from that. Right? I'm going to read that top again. This know also, that in the last days perilous times shall come. Verse 2. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, false accusers, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God, having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. From such turn away. Verse 6. For of this sort are they which creep into houses and lead captive silly women laden with sins, led away with divers lust. Verse 7. Ever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. So guess what? This is what happens where we have these group of men where we come up and we make ourselves a misapplication of ourselves. We see these women out here that's out here showing flesh when they are not supposed to. Instead of me telling a woman, hey, you look good in those poom poom shorts and you look good with your skin all flaming out and your legs look good and the way they all shiny. Yo sis, you really shouldn't do that, because everything that you showing me right now, even with your shorts and your little poom poom shorts and your shirt and you covered up, Only thing, you already showed me exactly what the rest of your body look like. And because I seen what the rest of your body look like, only thing I need to see now is everything else. The thing that you not showing me, the secret part. That's the only thing. But you left me with a fantasy though. So because of this now, in my mind, I'm gonna imagine that, yo, listen, I can holler at you. And because you seem like, you know, you jolly and you happy and, oh yeah, I'm gonna run all over you. I'm not coming with good intentions, right? So this is a man that's a reprobate mind. I'm not supposed to be that. I'm supposed to be that pure man. So when I see this particular thing, I'm supposed to do a thing. When I see that this woman is going through this thing, because guess what? She gonna go with this man today, and tomorrow she gonna leave him. She gonna go with another man, and guess what? That person gonna leave him. So this man right here just seen the fact that she was exploiting herself in a way or in a manner that wasn't right. And he knew that it wasn't right, but yet I could take advantage of it. But this is what happens with the fatherless. When you don't have nobody to upbring you and tell you the things that you are supposed to do and what's right, at the end of the day, you're going to do these things that's wrong, and you're going to in your mind, you're going to consider that this is okay to do. This is all right. Ain't nobody stopping me from doing this, so I'm going to do it. And guess what? This is not right. But then you have this man who take this girl and hurt her feelings and break her heart. She go to somebody else damage. They break her heart. She go to somebody else damage. Never learn and never come into the truth or to the reality that this is a repeated process. Why would you continue to go through that? So me as a man now, when I see this particular matter, there's a thing that I must do. I must let it be known and show it and see that at the end of the day and show myself approved to the Father. And once I show myself approved to the Father, this is how it will look. Go to Sirach chapter 4. I don't know if y'all understand or know, I love Sirach. So I love the Bible, period. I love every verse up in there. But Sirach is my guide. Sirach chapter 4, verse 10. Be as a father unto the fatherless, and instead of an husband unto their mother. So shalt thou be as the son of the Most High, and he shall love thee more than thy mother doeth. So check this out for a second. Father tells me to take my advice and take my counsel. When you seeing a reprobate mind man taking these silly women that's laden with sin and showing them all these type of diverse colors and what they can do for them, and then they leave them and leave them hurt, and these women is never coming to knowledge. Instead of you doing the same, my son, do a thing for me. Take these people, and instead of being a husband to them today, or being a father just to their kid, be a father to the mother and to her kid. And if you do this particular matter for me, I'm going to love you. You're going to be my son. And I'm going to love you way more than your own mother do. So picture that. Wait, I got to read that again. So just in case I said it a little too fast. Sirach chapter 4, verse 10. Be as a father unto the fatherless, and instead of an husband unto their mother. So shalt thou be as the son of the Most High, and he shall love thee more than thy mother doeth. So at the end of the day, there it goes right there. Even if my mother or my father told me, yo, go ahead, man, it's all right, man, you could take whatever girl you want, you can go ahead and be happy and make your life and, you know, become a father and, you know, make them love you and you love your, you could say all of that. But God did not tell me to do these particular things. God told me that if I see a fatherless and she's laden with these particular sins, bring her up. Give her my law, statutes, and commandments. Put something in her heart to let her know that she's going to be okay as long as she follows me. You know what I'm saying? So because of this particular matter, if you do this for me, son, I'm going to love you way more than your own mother do. So that already lets me know I'm not supposed to worship my mother on Mother's Day, and I'm not supposed to worship my father on Father's Day. Only father I'm supposed to worship every day of the year is God and do his service, right? So at the end of the day, we're going to close it out with the last verse of the day, and we're going to let y'all have a good day. And that is in the Lord, Deuteronomy chapter 32. Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 6. Do ye thus requite the Lord, O foolish people and unwise? Is not he thy father that hath brought thee? Hath he not made thee and established thee? So here it is. Moses is letting you know he is the father of us, of all of us. Yet he's the father of the children of Israel. And y'all got to honor me. Y'all worship me. But if you think, to say the least, I'm not the one that brought you up out of your bondage. I'm not the one that saved you and redeemed you and gave you a law and made you look glorious. If it's not me, then who is? What man can do what I do the way I did it for you, Israel? Nobody can. So if your father can't do this the way I did that in that time of history, get back to me. Honor me. Worship me. And I guarantee you, I'll show you exactly what a father will do and how he protects his own. I hope y'all out there having a good day, and I hope y'all actually multiplying and not diminishing. Kwam Yasharala.